From Elon Musk's super cool James Bond submarine car to Bill Gates' private jet that has a theater on board, these rich guys are not afraid to spend their money on the finer things in life. Here are some of the most outrageously lavish purchases by billionaires that will make your head spin. Yep, Musk really does own the James Bond submarine car. This is the man who literally reinvented the automobile and made reusable space rockets a reality. But he had his heart set on a piece of James Bond memorabilia, which honestly, I'm not even sure if it actually works. It's the iconic Lotus Esprit from the 1977 Bond movie The Spy Who Loved Me, and he got it for a cool $1 million. But the car was only used for underwater scenes. It didn't even have wheels. And get this, it's not even waterproof, but the heart wants what it wants. Fun fact, the car was found in a storage shed that a random collector bought for $100 in 1989. But really, this car is just the tip of the iceberg for Musk. The eccentric billionaire has made more than his share of huge purchases, including homes, cars, and even whole companies. Of course, let's not forget his $40 billion purchase of the social media network Twitter. But it probably pales in comparison to Larry Page's purchase of a $45 million yacht. The co-founder of Google is no miser, and what better way to live the good life than on a super luxe boat? It was called the Census and was loaded with luxuries. It would put James Bond and royalty to shame. The boat had a helipad, luxurious suites, and jet skis. In case you wanted to take a spin on the water, the super yacht featured interiors by Philippe Starck and could accommodate over 12 guests. Because what use is a giant boat if you can't use it to throw a party, complete with a gym, spa, jacuzzi, movie theater, and plenty of outdoor space? Not to mention a crew of 14 people to look after everyone. But it seems that Page sold the boat to an unknown buyer in 2020. Another billionaire most likely, but maybe not Jeff Bezos. His thing is more real estate. He bought a museum and turned it into his home. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, purchased the former Textile Museum in Washington, D.C. in 2016 for $23 million. The historic property is located in the upscale Colorama neighborhood. It was built in 1912 and originally served as the home of a wealthy businessman. The building later became the home of a textile museum, which moved to a new location in 2013. After buying the property, Bezos reportedly did some major renovations and restoration projects to turn the property into his private residence. The extensive renovation reportedly included the addition of a ballroom and a whiskey cellar, and other luxuries too, of course. This was all to the tune of $2 million. Of course, that's not the only luxury home Bezos owns. He spent a whopping $96 million on 4 apartments in the Flatiron condo at 212 Fifth Avenue in NYC. The first 3 apartments cost him $80 million, which happens to be the largest apartment deal ever to close in the city. Then he went ahead and bought another apartment for $16 million and merged them all together to create a massive penthouse, according to the Washington Post, which, by the way, Bezos also owns. The combined units and a 5,000 square foot terrace make up a 23,000 square foot 3-story mansion starting from the 20th floor. But on the subject of apartments, let's not forget one of the world's most expensive residences, the $1 billion Ambani home in Mumbai, India. Mukesh Ambani, an Indian magnate, inherited and controls an oil empire that has made him incredibly wealthy, with an estimated net worth of around $43 billion. And with $1 billion out of that fortune, he decided to build a home that's not only the most expensive in his native country, but in the entire world. According to Forbes, Ambani's home is a 27-story skyscraper covering 400,000 square feet. It's called Antilla, after the mythical island. It boasts 3 helicopter pads and 6 underground parking levels. While the amenities inside inside are said to be jaw-dropping, with a ballroom, a 50-seat theater, and 9 elevators in the lobby alone. To maintain this mega mansion, Ambani requires approximately 600 staff members. It's mind-boggling to think of the scale of wealth and luxury involved here. And if you think the Ambani home is mind-boggling, just look up an Ambani wedding and prepare to be blown away. But hey, when you're that rich, you can spend your cash on whatever you want. And if you're Bill Gates, you get a luxury private jet, which honestly seems quite tame compared to some of the other purchases on the list. But the Microsoft Corp co-founder certainly didn't hold back when it came to his choice of luxury spending. While some of his fellow tech billionaires might opt for yachts or submarines, Gates decided to splurge on a private jet. But this isn't just any private jet. It's a Boeing 757 that's actually larger than most commercial vehicles. With an estimated worth of $70 million, this jet is equipped with all sorts of luxurious amenities, including a master bedroom, a dining room, and even a movie theater. It's safe to say that when it comes to traveling in style, Gates definitely knows how to do it right. But the tech giant doesn't consider this his most favorite toy. That will have to be his trampoline room. Yup, a 67-year-old has a trampoline room in his $150 million mansion complex. This is followed closely by his prized scientific scribbles by Leonardo da Vinci himself. Back in 1994, he bought the Codex Leicester for more than $30 million. It's a 72-page manuscript that da Vinci put together in the early 16th century. It has his diagrams, writings, sketches, and even ideas for future machines. It's good to be Bill Gates, but I think it might be better to be the Sultan of Brunei. His car collection alone is worth $5 billion. Being a sultan has its perks, and the car collection owned by Hassan al-Bolkiah is a prime example. Despite ruling over a country that's smaller than the state of Delaware, he boasts a legendary fleet of cars containing 7,000 of the world's rarest, finest, best performing, and most expensive cars. According to Top Speed, this collection is worth a jaw-dropping $5 billion or more. The incredible gems in the collection are 21 Lamborghinis, 452 Ferraris, and 604 Rolls-Royces. But one of his most prized possessions is the Star of India, a $14 million Rolls-Royce convertible that's the most expensive car in the world. Now this guy knows how to live large. Even his haircuts are an event, with a rumored price tag of $19,000. There's only one London-based barber that the Sultan trusts with his hair, so every time he needs a cut, the hairdresser is flown down to Brunei and treats him to the good life. Oh, and he also owns the most expensive private jet in the world. He spent $120 million customizing it to his tastes alone, including gold plating on most surfaces. And if that's not your thing, then perhaps we could interest you in $1 million worth of art. Carlos Slim owns a staggering 65,000 pieces of art. If you're an art lover, then Slim's Museo Somaya is the place to be. This Mexican telecom tycoon has amassed an incredible collection of artwork, and he's not content with just keeping them hidden away in some warehouse. In fact, Slim has spent a whopping $800 million on a museum to showcase his collection to the world. The building is truly a work of art, with a unique design that will surely leave you awestruck. And inside, you'll find an amazing array of artwork from legendary artists, including Auguste Rodin, Salvador Dali, Bartolome Esteban Murillo, and Tintoretto. And that's just to name a few. It's clear that for Slim, owning and sharing his collection is truly a dream come true. The museum is located in Mexico City, so make sure you don't miss it if you're ever in the city. And those were just some of the craziest things that billionaires have spent their money on.